Okay, everybody, good evening. This is the part of the video where I would say something like, I hope you guys are doing well, but I don't need to do that this time because I know you guys are doing well. Because if you're watching this video, then you just watched the Seattle Seahawks play what I would call a perfect game. And I don't mean that literally because actual perfection over a 60-minute game of football is not really achievable. At that point, you're talking about scoring a touchdown on every play or something like that. But as far as football goes, as far as a football game can go, that was perfect. And for it to happen in a playoff game against a division rival, a team that we just played 2 weeks ago, is astounding. It is something that we as a fan base need to cherish, and I'm so happy I get to sit here and report on it. All right, everybody, before we go any further into the video, I want to take a minute to tell you guys about a wonderful app called Sleeper, a one-stop shop for all your sports needs. You can celebrate and chat about sports in real time with other users. You can get all kinds of scores, sports news, and sports alerts with blazing fast speed. And of course, you can play in fantasy leagues and win real money on picks contests. So enjoy sports with other people in a community. Download the Sleeper app today and remember to use the promo code SBN, that is SBN, for up to $100 match on your first deposit. And they also have a free $20 entry right now, no deposit required. So pair those two up. Terms and conditions do apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and growing. Check out the Sleeper app and have fun with sports this year. So, yeah, what else can the Seattle Seahawks do, right? What else can they really do over a 60-minute football game that they didn't do tonight? They had a run-first offense that thrived off of all different kinds of runs, be it Ken Walker. I know Charbonnet got hurt early, but he was off to a pretty good start before he got hurt. Or the end arounds or jet sweeps to Shaheed. And then they were able to just tee off on play action. It was exactly the kind of offense that Seattle tried to put together in the offseason and tried to build all season long. And they executed it perfectly. No turnovers, good ball control, picking up third downs with Cooper Kupp, and this is exactly what they dialed up. And defensively, this Niners team has been relatively unstoppable in games where they don't play the Seahawks over the last 2 months. Keep that in mind here. So, yeah, I mean, the Seahawks defense, this is another one of those games where I can't even sit here and list off names of players that played good because I'd be here all day. And it doesn't really tell you anything if I just sit here and read off a bunch of names, right? Everybody played good. Like, you gotta dig deep to find anybody who maybe didn't necessarily play a great game. Maybe, what, Uchenna Nwosu? Nick Emanwari got beat in coverage a couple times, I guess? Like, what are we talking about here? 6 points. 6 points. 232, not even 240 total yards of offense. And this 49ers team played this Seahawks defense 2 weeks ago, so whatever counter punches they had, this would have been the perfect time to deploy it, and they had nothing. They had nothing for this defense, man. They get Ricky Pearsall back, they get Trent Williams back. Now, I don't know if those guys were really themselves, but they're on the field, and it doesn't really change much of anything. I know maybe there wasn't a ton of pressure on Purdy, but shout out to the 49ers offensive line. Those guys do provide resistance. Shout out to Brock Purdy. Honestly, I thought that he did about as good as he could, scrambling around back there, trying to make something happen and keeping plays alive, and only getting sacked twice, even though he's holding onto the ball all day on a lot of those plays. So, I mean, the pocket presence is legitimate, but nothing from McCaffrey. McCaffrey was basically, he could have been anybody out there. No real run game from the Niners at all. Their most productive running game of the day was Brock Purdy taking off on scrambles. And I mean, that secondary locked down, and I know the Niners don't have all their guys, but so what? No, who has all their guys right now? Nah, I don't think anybody really has all their guys right now. So you play who you got in front of you, and given all the circumstances here, what else can I do but call this a perfect game? So, yeah, defensively, takeaways, we got some turnovers. So happy that DeMarcus Lawrence got that strip sack because he was so close a couple times in this game. Didn't quite finish. Finally, he finishes on Purdy. I think basically knocked him out of the game. I think that was it for Purdy actually after the fumble. So really happy that that happened. Leonard Williams, it's been a little bit of a struggle for him lately. So to see him get home on that fourth down that more or less sealed the game was awesome. Byron Murphy handling business on that 3rd and 1 run that set up the fourth down stop that I thought completely set the tone for the rest of the game. Like, when we got off the field there, I immediately felt a big weight lift off of me, like we were just good, and, eh, not enough can be said about the turnaround this defense has had under McDonald. I can't believe we're here. You would think that if you look at what this defense was 2 years ago, you think about that game against Pittsburgh and Mason Rudolph at home 2 years ago, maybe 2 years and a month ago, and then you think about where the defense is now, you would think that transformation would take, like, 5 years. You would think that transforming your defense to that degree would take, like, 5 years. It's taken us 2, and this is the best defense in football. I don't think there's any way around it at this point. This is a defense that can win a Super Bowl by itself. We spent so much time thinking about Sam Darnold and his oblique going into this game. We spent so much time thinking about, was he gonna be able to make the throws? Was he gonna be able to unleash the ball down the field? That some people, I think, kinda forgot that it was never about Sam Darnold. It's about this defense, and they could have won today with Drew Lock in the lineup. If Drew Lock was the quarterback today, we win. If Jalen Milroe was the quarterback today, we win, because this defense is that good. And look, the Niners, they're missing guys. That is one of the great schemers in football on the other sideline in Kyle Shanahan. And that's a pretty good quarterback over there as well. And they've got some guys on that offense that are probably going to end up in the Hall of Fame. Trent Williams, I think, should definitely make it. I don't know about McCaffrey. I don't know how they're going to look at his career, but maybe. And they have nothing for us, man. They have nothing for this defense. All they can do is hope that their defense holds on against our offense, and eventually our defense wears down. If that doesn't happen, they can't move the ball. They just can't do it. So, very, very appreciative of so much stuff on that side. Ernest Jones with another interception. Incredible year that he's having. His play individually, such a big reason why we stop the run the way we do. I don't think people who just look at numbers truly appreciate all the effort that Ernest Jones has to give in order to keep this team from giving up so much more on the ground. Um, Devin Witherspoon, Reek Woolen, my God. How do you pass on the outside on this team? How do you pass straight up on those guys? Just seems impossible sometimes. So we spent all week thinking about, or at least the last 2 days, thinking about Sam Darnold because of the oblique. And this game starts, and Sam Darnold, yeah, he could have been anybody, right? It wasn't about Sam Darnold. It was about the best defense in football. And they did not let up at all tonight. And that was a performance I will remember watching forever. And offensively, I'll say it again. Is it literally perfect? No, probably not. Because you can't really be perfect. What are you talking about? Scoring a touchdown every time you get the ball? Yeah, okay. The 3rd and 2 deep shot to Shaheed, I could have done without. But other than that, this was exactly what we needed. This is exactly what we've been building to all year. Those early season games where we kept trying to run it and run it and run it and run it and kept bashing our head into the brick wall and couldn't get anything going. And we would turn to Darnold and JSN to bail us out. We have built something sustainable out of that. It finally snapped in. It's finally in place. Ken Walker, one of the best games he's ever played as a Seahawk, maybe the best. I don't know. Making a great case for a contract extension. Shaheed on the jet sweep. That was a big play in this game, by the way, that will get lost in all the other great plays we had. Charbonnet was going to have a good game, and then, hopefully he's fine, by the way. I don't know any more than you guys, but hopefully we're fine there. But to a certain extent, like, it didn't even really matter who the running back was. I know Walker's got unique skills that are helping him get extra yards, but this run blocking has become one of the best run blocking units in football. Like, it is the perfect team to win games with a potentially less than 100% Sam Darnold. And if they have to win games with Drew Lock or Jalen Milroe, or, if you find yourself in the situation the Broncos are in with Jared Stidham, they can do it because they are winning up front. And earlier this year, they were not. As recently as a month and a half ago, they were a team that ran the ball a lot, but did not run the ball successfully. Now, they are one of the best running teams in the league. And they could win the Super Bowl just off the back of that. Combined with their defense, like, again, we talk about Sam Darnold because we like him, because he's done good work this year, because he's delivered for us, and now he's delivered for us in a playoff game. But it's not about him. It's not. And I'm so happy that even though I liked what Kubiak did all year, even though I appreciated what he was doing for this offense all year, I'm so happy that things have really clicked into place at the end of the season here when we really needed it. Other than that, Cooper Kupp, great game by him. Kind of maybe his best game in like 2.5 months in terms of volume. And for a while, he's just been kind of a guy who makes one or two big plays a game at best. But today, he was the guy we constantly turned to on third down, and basically any circumstance where we needed to pick up a first down, Darnold found Kupp, and Kupp did the thing. That was the perfect Cooper Kupp game. Perfect Cooper Kupp game. And there weren't a lot of balls to go around, so for him to catch 5 passes when Darnold only drops back to pass like, what, 20 times? Wow. Charles Cross did get banged up late in this game. I don't get the sense that either injury was too significant, but we'll know more tomorrow or maybe Monday. So I can't really speak to that. I don't know what's going on with Cross, but he did come back out of the locker room after the injury and watch the game from the sideline. And it's important to note that by the time he got back, we were so far ahead that there was no point in putting him back out there, even if he was 100%. So I don't think we knew anything from that. But I do think that there is a sense that he is probably fine. So that's the best I got for you guys right now. And hopefully I'll have good news later this week, or well, next week. Yeah, I don't really know where else to go with this video, guys. That was such a good game that there's so little nuance to get into, I feel like. We won the special teams battle in a runaway against the Niners, who have been incredibly good on special teams this year. The Niners have had one of the best special teams units in the league, and we dominated them. Right? We made our field goals. I know they made their field goals too, but we had great work from our punter. Dixon hit one inside the 5, I think. I think he pinned them down inside the 5. And of course, Shaheed. And we got to keep that guy around, man. Whatever amount of money it takes to keep Shaheed around, we got to make that happen. He can go a whole game without catching a pass like he did today. Shaheed had 0 catches today, and it does not matter. And he still has a huge impact on the game. And he's still a big reason why you win the game by as much as you do. If you were to remove the defense from the equation, Shaheed was one of our best players today. And he did it without catching a single pass. Insane what that guy brings. So, yeah, man. Just, that's the thing I want you guys to take away from this video, right? Because I talked about this game as much as I could, but there isn't really much to say about a game that is that clean, that perfect. Like, did we have penalties in this game? I think we maybe had like 1 penalty or 2 penalties the whole game. We were clean. We were disciplined. We were fundamentally sound. I think the closest thing we did to something bad was going for Shaheed 50 yards down the field on 3rd and 2, but it was such a good game. Just as a fan, remember to enjoy this. Don't watch this game and just immediately start thinking about the next game. Enjoy the journey instead of getting obsessed with the final destination, because if you forget about the journey, then the whole experience is not gonna be as fun as it should be, and right now, watching this Seahawks team is a lot of fun. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here. Go Hawks. See you guys later. Wish I had more, but it's hard to really dissect a game like that. 35-point victory, tied for the biggest blowout in Seahawks playoff history. That was everything that we could have dreamed of as a fan base. Alright, go Hawks.